If you're considering skipping Mavuika in this patch, you might be walking straight into HOYOVERSE'S biggest trap. Maybe you've got your eyes on Clorinde or Arlecchino in the second phase, or you're planning to pick her up during her rerun. After all Archons eventually get a rerun in their region, right? But here's the thing, skipping Mavuika now might just be the biggest mistake you'll make. Let me explain why. Save up to 23% on Mavuika banner at lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description. Let's break down the rerun logic, because this is where things get really interesting and a bit dangerous. If you're thinking, I'll just wait for Mavuika's rerun, you might be setting yourself up for a tough choice. Historically, all Archons have received their reruns within 4 patches after their initial release. For example, Nahida debuted in 3.2 and then reran in 3.6. Based on this pattern, Mavuika's rerun is likely to happen in version 5.7. Sounds straightforward, right? Not quite. Here's the kicker. Insiders have already hinted that version 5.7 is when Skirk will be released. Yes, Skirk, the most overpowered character who's been teased in the lore forever. Not only that, but HOYOVERSE themselves have already confirmed that she is coming to Natlan. If you've been following the story, you know Skirk is no ordinary addition to the roster. She's hyped to be one of the most broken characters in Genshin, and considering her lore reputation as the strongest character we've encountered so far, her kit is bound to be game-changing. Now, imagine this scenario. Mavuika and Skirk both appear in the same patch. You'll be forced to choose between re-rolling for the Mavuika or going all in on debut of Skirk. It's a nightmare scenario for anyone trying to budget their primo gems, especially since skipping Skirk feels almost unthinkable for anyone invested in the lore or looking for top-tier gameplay potential. Think about it. HOYOVERSE knows what they're doing here. By placing 2 highly sought-after characters in the same patch, they're creating one of the toughest dilemmas for players. Waiting for Mavuika's rerun might sound like a good idea now, but when 5.7 rolls around, you might find yourself scrambling to figure out how to get both. And let's be real, for most of us, the answer won't be a happy one. If you're truly considering skipping Mavuika in favor of her rerun, you need to ask yourself, will you really want to pass on Skirk when the time comes? Or worse, will you be okay with skipping one of the 2 entirely? It's a calculated trap, and falling into it could mean missing out on one of the most exciting characters in the game, whether that's Mavuika now or Skirk later. Mavuika isn't just another Archon, she's a game changer. Have you seen her Night Soul exploration mechanic? She's got a motorcycle that can fly, climb walls, and even ride on water. It's not just cool to look at, it makes exploring the game world way more fun and practical. Imagine skipping a character who can completely change how you navigate the game. If you skip her, you're passing on a huge boost to exploration convenience. But she's not just about getting around. Mavuika shines in combat too. She's flexible enough to be a main DPS or a sub-DPS, with her elemental skill and burst delivering massive damage. She's perfect for reaction-based teams and works amazingly well with characters like Furina. So let's recap. If you skip Mavuika now, you'll face her rerun in 5.7 alongside Skirk. That's not just tough, it's brutal. Skirk's going to be a must-pull for almost everyone, given her lore and likely insane kit. HOYOVERSE knows this, which is why they're setting up this trap. Don't let them corner you into making such a difficult decision. Get Mavuika now and save yourself from future regret. Are you planning to pull for Mavuika, or are you still on the fence? And what about Skirk? Does her confirmed release in 5.7 change your plans? Let me know in the comments.